feeling real good about it. So we'll say, my name is Brian. His name is Tom. Intro you, and at that point, you're allowed to
I was born late.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another thrilling episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
Hello, Thomas Grimm. How are you, sir?
You don't talk like that.
Dude, what if I did the whole interview that way? Like a South Park, one of those puppets.
I'd probably myself.
Dude, probably not awesome to say.
Leave in the first 45 seconds.
10 seconds in, we're already editing stuff out. Sick, dude. How are you?
Good.
Who's joining us today?
Joining us this week in the Days Grimm shoebox is Dr. Austin Maxheimer.
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about dentistry today, right? I'm just joking.
It'd be a short conversation.
I love the film The Hangover. Are you familiar?
Oh, yeah.
So
All parts.
they get to the check-in or whatever, and he's like, it's under doctor or whatever. And his buddy's like, he's just a dentist. If someone has a heart attack, definitely still call it the ambulance.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even have as much technical expertise as dentistry. So,
Well, what's up, Austin? How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. Thanks
Doing
for
good?
having me, guys.
Doing good. Hell yeah, man. Well, welcome to our little shoebox. It's a good time to get in here because it's finally starting to cool down in the summertime. The studio gets a little warm sometimes, as you can tell.
And Brian just got into disc golf. We know you're big into disc golf.
Yeah.
I am sick with it these days.
Big DG fan. So how long have you been into the DG?
Just a couple years. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
You
I
gotta
played
practice.
ball golf for quite a long time.
What's ball golf?
Just, regular
Like ball
swinging the clubs.
yeah, okay.
But just one of my best buddies, we've been friends since high school. He got back into disc golf, and he just slowly drew everyone else in. And so we probably play 3 or 4 times a week right now.
Hell yeah, dude. Do you ever do... Okay, so the way I got into disc golf was because I'm old. You know what I mean? So I can't play like contact sports anymore. But I was like big on football, like we were talking about pre-show.
Yeah.
So I got into ultimate first.
Oh, yeah.
And I did like 2 or 3 years of ultimate. And I loved
Ultimate
it.
Frisbee's fire.
So much fun, dude. Like getting up under that thing and you're just like...
Making the run
You know what I
on
mean?
it. Yeah, it is like the perfect combo for people that used to play football.
Yeah, and I would play more soccer, but my foot to ball skills, dribbling and all that, I suck at it.
Yeah.
But I just love running. But then I had a buddy introduce me to DG, and I was like, oh, this is like ultimate without all the running.
Without all the running,
This
old
is
man
great,
stuff.
dude. I'm
yeah.
like having a cold beer. I'm slinging frisbees, dude, or discs. I apologize.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's super sick. So 2 years in, have you done any like I guess like tournaments or anything?
No, I haven't cracked that yet.
No?
I'm not very good.
Okay.
So,
Can you keep up with your buddies or?
Yeah, I'm about middle of the pack.
Didn't you
Okay.
win that day when we all went?
Yeah.
Austin Parsons.
Oh,
Terry?
nice, dude. I don't.
An interesting group to
Can
go
I-
play
can I
disc
see-
golf with. I just want to throw
Can
that
I
out
say
there.
something? And I want you to tell me if I'm completely off. Zach Parsons not a good DGer.
I don't know.
He could be.
How did he
He's
do?
got a cannon for an arm.
That
He just
he-
needs to play
He showed
more.
up late that day.
He
so
is
like
jacked. He
Oh,
is jacked.
he's just
dude.
a big guy.
So I bet
Yeah.
he could sling it, but he just doesn't seem like someone who throws a disc very often.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that's what
he could be good.
So
Yeah.
him and I would actually be a good match.
Maybe. Dude, the conversations were good that day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was
You
the
had
win
2
of
doctors
the
on
day.
out
Yeah.
there throwing discs.
Oh, Perry was out there
Yeah,
too?
Perry was
Hell
out
yeah,
there, too.
dude. Shout out to
Now,
Perry,
Perry's
dude.
pretty good.
Dude,
He's all
Perry-
forehand.
Perry's a stud, dude.
He
We
is
were
a
just
stud.
talking about him pre-show.
Yeah.
He's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
But anyways, at any rate.
Yeah, let's get a like brief elevator pitch of like who Austin is and what Austin does here in Evansville.
Oh, man.
But you have to refer to yourself in the third person. I don't know.
Austin.
Austin is no. So yeah, who are you? What do you do, brother?
Yeah. Thomas and I were talking about it. Like, really, the kind of the through line for my life is like trying to gather groups of people and mobilize them on transformational mission. Like, that's what I've done kind of ever since I graduated seminary first round and moved back to Evansville.
Oh, nice.
That's what I've been doing. Now that's looked differently. I was vocationally, I worked for a church for a few years. Now I work at a nonprofit where we do neighborhood evangelization. So that's what I do day to day, every day, as we partner
yeah, dude.
with neighbors to change their neighborhood.
like actual neighbors. Like,
Yeah,
you're just
yeah,
like
yeah,
knocking on
residents.
doors.
Oh yeah,
Which is
that's
like
a big part of
huge
what we
'cause,
do.
like,
Actually,
I make jokes all the time that like communities kind of vanished in a way. Like
yeah.
people barely wave at their neighbors. People barely know anything about their next door neighbors.
Yeah, we're in a really interesting moment, right? Like, so our built environment, like ever since suburban sprawl happened, privacy fences, streets made for automobiles instead of people, like,
Oh, yeah.
that has isolated us and broken up community. And then you've added in the internet, and it's just like streaming services. And so this idea of belonging, where you live, where you're rooted, where you're like physically at, is just not even anything on anyone's radar these days. And so trying to recapture that.
I feel like the people that get the worst rap, the homeless community, they get the worst rap.
It is a community.
But
It is.
I mean, is that something that's on your guys' radar? Have
We
you,
don't
have you dabbled in?
necessarily.
No, okay,
But
okay.
we partner because so we do concentrate our work in high poverty neighborhoods.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
homelessness, by virtue of that, is
It's in that
part of
area.
it. Yeah. But we don't specifically work with homeless populations. But like my best friend, or longest life friend, we met when we were 5. He works with homeless populations in Eugene, Oregon, and that's what he does. Like constantly is helping. Get them to the place, if they want to a place of where they permanent supportive housing is what they call it. So
Well, that's the Potter's Wheel place that you recorded that
Yeah.
episode with Parsons at. They had like a community lunch thing that like fed homeless people and stuff that same
they
day.
have a diner. Yeah,
And then also, shout out to Nike, dude. Eugene.
they made it beautiful.
I'm a big runner, so
Yeah.
like you said, Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah,
all I
it's
can
like
think
the-
about is
yeah.
Oregon State or not-
Prefontaine
yeah,
or-
Oregon University and
they have a beautiful track and field,
dude, and their football field.
Oh yeah,
There's nobody doing
that's
it
all
better.
Nike money.
Oh god, they're just crushing it.
So, Austin, were you born here in Evansville?
No, I was born in Central Illinois, a real small rural
Centralia?
farm town. No, but my wife's from there.
What'd you
That's
just
funny.
say? Oh, you said Central.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I
yeah.
jumped the gun.
No, that's
I got so
interesting.
excited.
Are you from Centralia?
No,
His wife
my
is.
best friend is from Centralia.
Okay.
Jacob New, who's
yeah.
been on the podcast. He's
How old is he? Just curious. They might know each other.
He's younger than me. I think he's 33.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We
he's
probably missed each
33.
other then.
I'm 35.
We're 44. So.
Okay. But yeah. Centralia is really good folks out there. And then my wife is from, I call it Mount Vernon, but it's really Blueford.
Okay.
So Blueford
Right next to
outside
it.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you from in Central?
Yeah, it was
Springfield area. or-
well, yeah, I was actually born in Decatur, Illinois, but
Okay.
that was just like the next biggest town with a hospital. So
And your dad was a preacher?
he was a youth minister. When I was born, he was a pig farmer.
Oh, damn.
So he had a drastic life change when I was 2 years old, and so then he went to Bible college and that whole thing. So yeah,
That's sick, dude.
yeah. But I moved to Evansville in 6th grade, so it feels like my home.
What brought them to Evansville?
job? Yeah, youth ministry job.
Am I overreaching? And please don't feel free to not answer any question that makes you uncomfortable, because I'm really good at asking
Hey,
uncomfortable
I
questions.
love those. Let's have
what was the
real
life-changing event, if I may, or is that reaching too far?
Oh,
Am I reaching too far?
No, not at all. Yeah, and that's easy. Yeah. Let's hear some harder ones. No, I'm just, it was really kind of your classic story of like partier, drinker, family of alcoholics.
Okay, you're talking about me.
Yeah,
Settle
yeah.
down. Settle down here, dude.
Catholics.
And he found himself at 20 with a kid, and
That's scary.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's scary.
and another one on the way, and he didn't like the trajectory of his life. And a guy from his local church, he would go because my mom went, type of like, again, classic story.
Yeah.
But this guy just saw something in him and slowly like drew out from him a different way of living, I guess you would say.
So the life-changing event was you and your sister.
Well, absolutely. Me
Was
and my
that the
brother,
life-
and then
Oh,
my
your-
sister.
your brother,
Yeah.
and then the sister.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
geez
They had
Louise,
3
dude.
kids in 4 years.
Wow.
So my dad had 3 kids by the time he was 22 years old.
Golly,
And
boy.
he wasn't Catholic or Mormon?
No.
Oh, Tom.
Just a farm family.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got to have those
Yeah,
kids
you gotta have the
to,
help.
You
to
gotta
run
watch-
the tractors.
You got to watch Tom. He's very well versed in like religion. He's read like the
I know.
Quran. He's read the Bible.
fascinating,
He's like getting into the Shaduk.
I've been listening to the Odyssey.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
he's in the
you're
Odyssey
deep into
now.
that,
So
huh?
he's like,
He's been sharing with me the Notebook stuff. The
Yeah,
LM
Notebook LM.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
the. Oh wait,
It's-
no, not the movie.
No, not the movie. that large language model that you can input your sources and it creates all the, like, you can ask it questions based on your input sources. You can listen to an audio podcast.
It'll do a
overview.
podcast for you.
Now it has video that it adds
Overview
on.
with graphics. It's incredible.
Then the mind mapping.
Where do we stand at Gosling's The Notebook, though? Is everybody on board with The Notebook? It is a premiere.
I've actually read the book.
Have
Nicholas
you?
Sparks. Oh,
Yeah, phenomenal.
It's exactly like the book.
Yeah,
or
dude.
movie.
All the other ones, not as great. The Notebook, primo.
So like 6th grade, moving.
I got so excited.
Moving to like a new area right as you start like middle school. I feel like middle school is when people start like slowly finding out little bits about themselves.
Yeah, you're
or, like,
finding character traits, you know.
Yeah.
So like, what was that being like the new kid in a, but basically probably a bigger city?
Yeah, no, that's a very pointed question because a lot of people talk about Evansville being a small town if you're from here, because we got Nashville, Indianapolis, St. Louis,
It's the third biggest
around
city
us.
in Indiana.
Yeah, but the town I moved from was like 2,000 people. So you think about the magnitude of scale of how comparative that was. For me, this was the big, like coming here, it was mind blowing for living in the big city, coming from the farm fields. And so it was a complete disruption of life at that critical moment, when you're hitting puberty and you're trying on different personas.
Oh, yeah.
And so like I really became a people pleaser in that phase of my life, which is something that I've had to overcome as an adult, like, cause you just want to fit in, right? And you don't know anyone. And so you just
coming from like a religious family, they're like, just say shit one time. Like, come on, just say it,
Say the S word. Say the S word. You're like, no,
I just can't.
I'm not going to do it, dude. My dad will hit me. No,
Yeah, that was like 6th grade for me,
Yeah.
Then you start getting bullied and you're like, all right, shit, stop. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. But yeah, what was that like, dude? So it was struggling with like who you were as a person getting here, right?
Yeah, a little bit of like a chameleon type of idea. Like, I'm going to be this way with this group of people so they like me, and I'm going to be this way with this group of people so they like me.
Did you start sports around here? Because you said it was
yeah.
like junior high age,
Yeah,
right?
I was sick with sports just as a kid. Like, I wish I would have invested all that time of sports into music because I love music now.
Ah, dude. Yeah.
But you just can't miss on. You could not have made me play music because I would wanted to be on the sports field.
Right.
So.
There's a feeling you get with like the camaraderie that you don't get
nowhere else. Yeah.
You
You were in the military.
you get it more in the military.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing I can compare it to.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for sure. But yeah,
That's fast friends too. Moving to a new city, that's a nice thing.
Yeah, getting in sports, you're meeting a lot of friends and meeting a lot of people that are into the same things you're into, and then sharing sharing little tricks of the trade.
When you are automatically plugged into like a whole new church community too to start.
Yeah.
What was that like?
And that was probably the coolest thing. Like, I know a lot of people have bad stories about growing up in church. I didn't. Like, I'm sure there's things in there. Religion just in general damages people. But for the most part, I was very happy. Like, I felt well loved. It never felt like legalism or fundamentalist type of thing going on.
Using a lot of big words here, sir. I will let you know you are in fact the only doctor in the room. So legalism and feminism. What'd you say?
No, not feminism.
What'd you say?
Yeah, there probably wasn't any fundamentalism.
Fundamentalism. Can you run me through what both of those words mean?
Yeah, legalism.
So sorry, I'm a little slower than your average tater tot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say that religion just is legalism.
It's like a set of rules you got to live by.
Yeah.
Legalism. It's like the rules
that becomes
of
the
religion.
center of your life is following these legalities.
Okay, now what's the
don't drink, don't smoke, don't curse.
Oh, yeah.
That's the classic religious ones, or at least in Bible Belt.
Now the fundamentalism one. What is that?
Yeah, that's taking even a step further. That's when you see
geez.
like the ladies with the skirts and buns and women can't speak in church type stuff.
Oh,
like like the extreme further right.
Yeah, that's rough. Real bummer that I kind of like grew up Catholic, and they're like Catholics are more prone to like the Older Testament style of like Christianity.
Yeah, a lot of legalism there. Yeah,
Yeah,
Still not the worst at it. There's worse out there.
I've seen some pretty poor treatment of women in Catholicism. Not like horrible, like no one's like getting hit or anything, but I'm just saying, like, not a lot of respect. It's dicey.
Dude, my grandpa that came on talked about the nuns at school beating them.
Dude, bro, nuns are brutal. Dude,
Anyways, we're getting off track here.
Hey, also shout out to all the nuns out there. You guys are doing the Lord's work.
They are.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, we did kind of diverge.
So like getting it through there, getting plugged into sports, did you like do all that through high school, like from middle school to high school? So you had
What
like
sports?
that same group of friends?
I played football and baseball in high school.
All right, what were you better at?
I was better. Well, I was probably better at football.
This is always a fun question.
Yeah.
You know, when Patrick Mahomes was asked that, what are you better at? Because he played both all through high school. He was like, I'm way better. He said, well, I'm way better at, however he talks, you know what I mean? I'm way better at baseball. And he was actually planning on going.
Cannon arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was planning on going into the MLB right away, and then somehow he wound up in the NFL. I have no idea. Shout out to Texas Tech. But yeah, it's always fun to find out like multi-sport athletes. I only ever played football, a little bit of baseball, but it's always cool. Like when you do both, like which did you like the most? And you're saying you were more
I
into football.
I hesitated a little bit because I did play 1 year college baseball, so I was pretty good.
Where'd you play it?
Just that small Christian college that I went to seminary at. Ended up going to seminary. It's called Lincoln Christian College.
Oh yeah, in Illinois.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it the same as Lincoln Trails?
No, that's in Springfield.
Oh, okay,
They
okay.
get it confused a lot.
I know Lincoln Trails.
Yeah.
So like in seminary, do they have you? So like I always heard like when somebody went to seminary, they had you like put like marbles in your mouth and talk, or like you had to learn like weird.
What?
Like you had to like learn to talk.
That was
like,
not
all
my
different
experience.
ways.
Dude, I just got lightheaded. I laughed so hard. Oh my goodness. What?
Well, like what's seminary look like?
That's a great question because, okay, so I'll try to be short on this, but when I first got married, I was not like a professing Christian. You know, I was like agnostic.
You got married young, right out of high school?
No, 20. So, yeah, I'm mixing these stories a little bit. So I went to Lincoln for 1 year, and that's where I met my wife.
Played baseball.
But then we both transferred out, and then we didn't see each other for 5 years, and then we got reconnected and got married really fast.
And you guys wrote letters or something during this time.
Yeah, look at this good memory. Yeah, we wrote letters and emails back and forth to each other.
Where did you go? Where did
I was
she
in
go?
Colorado working at Winter Park, and just a ski season.
How'd you get plugged in with that? You were just like, I want to
online.
go.
Yeah. I was drinking myself to death here in Evansville after my
dude.
student teaching, and I was like, I just got to get out of here.
Yeah.
So I was going to go into the Peace Corps.
Sick.
There was a mix up with the application. Ended up like I got to get out of Evansville for a while, so I just went to Colorado to work one ski season while I was waiting on my Peace Corps application to go to finish.
Yeah.
And then my now wife calls me up. Hadn't talked to her in 5 years. We were married 5 months later, so it was just like real quick,
That's
like
sick,
drastic
dude.
life change.
Dude, shout out to your
living
wife.
in Centralia,
Dude, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So she was down in Lincoln too for that 1 year?
Just that 1 year.
And then
That's
she
where we
went back
met.
to Centralia?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you went to Colorado?
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
So then you come back and you guys get married and everything in Illinois?
Yeah. Married in Illinois, lived in Southern Illinois in Breeze, Illinois. If you know,
I'm
where that's
getting
at.
Notebook vibes from this story.
Yeah,
dude.
Nicholas Sparks.
I'm
needs to
not
pick it
tearing up or anything yet, but golly, this is juicy, boy. This is juicy. I'm getting excited about your marriage. Like it's not even my life.
But we just celebrated 20 years.
Congrats,
So,
man.
yeah, thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
dude.
Yeah, we made it at least this far.
Heck yeah, dude. She hasn't murdered you yet.
No,
you know what I
she
mean?
is amazing.
What's the like side note here is so like I know like Andrew Huberman. No, not it's actually not Huberman. Who's the guy? Alex Hernandez, the guy that wears the nose patch thing. He was talking about like when him and his wife have arguments, they leave the room and they text each other.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know like if
Yeah.
you guys like leave the room and write emails or
Well, that's
something when
the
you
thing.
guys.
Yeah, like that's the thing we adopted was to instead of yelling at each other. Well, my wife doesn't yell. Me yelling at my wife and her, curling into herself. We just took like, let's stop this. Let's go write out our thoughts and share them with each other in a more civilized format.
Is there like a certain time that you wait to share your thoughts, or do you just like, all right, I need 5?
Yeah, it's usually there's hours. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's a cool thing. I thought I remembered something like that, and then I just heard it the other day, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh.
It works for us. It has been good for us.
Nice, dude.
Is your wife like really good at writing as well?
Yeah, she's an English teacher.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's
She's
an
a
English teacher
super
versus
creative.
like a doctor author.
Is she a doctor too?
No.
If we had 2 doctors,
She's smarter
dude,
than me, but she's not a doctor. She's smart enough not to pay those bills.
did she write your dissertation? Now that's my follow-up.
She did do the grammar.
Dude, shout out to your wife. She sounds super sick, dude.
So like when you come back, back and you guys get married and everything, do you go back to college again in that time?
Yeah, so that's the thing. So like for 2 years, I was agnostic, but my wife was a Christian follower of Jesus, and I was like, oh, I got to deal with this. Like, I live with this woman.
He said, I have to deal with this.
I did. Like, I got
you just like you get up into bed and you're like scrolling to put some on TV, and she's kneeled there doing her nightly prayer.
Like, oh, this is a real thing. This isn't just this isn't just empty religion. Like, this is a live faith in her life, and so
and she's Catholic.
No, she's not
no.
Catholic.
She's Christian.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. All right.
Yeah. And so it was like through a very slow, long process, those 2 years of like reading a bunch of authors, having a bunch of conversations with friends and confidants. And through that process, then I ended up having, I guess,
a reversion.
How long does this process take? How long?
2 years
of just deep diving, of just kind of like
Deep
ins
dive.
and outs.
Yeah.
And did you do any religious text at this time?
Yeah.
Like some books, like some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
a bunch of books because always have been a voracious reader, and so just like devouring all these books.
Voracious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't keep up, brother. We're gonna roll past it this time. I'll do some.
It means like avid, like a constant reader.
I'll get the context clues when I listen back to this in post. No, man, but that's exciting. 2 years, I feel like that's an adequate amount of time to like deep dive something that you weren't. But you did grow
It's
up
enough
in
time
church.
to
I
wrestle
grew
with
up
it.
in church.
You did grow up in church, and
for
then
sure.
did we ever get to the point to where like was it just when you left home for college is when you kind of got away from church?
Yeah.
It was about that time, and did you like miss it, or was it like a relief?
No, and that's why I was saying growing up, I didn't have a bad experience, so it wasn't a relief. It was more like
You were just kind of indifferent.
Just not in the forefront of your mind. You probably believed in God still at the time, but you weren't like thinking about like what does God feel about what
I
I'm
wasn't
doing.
practicing anything.
All right, I got a hard question
like,
for you.
Yeah.
Let's get into some deeper material quick, because I feel like just while in this part of the storyline, deep question: is that a sin? Is that a sin to be a church-going gentleman or gentle lady, and then you walk away from the church for whatever reason? You got to move, or your dog dies, and you got to bury him in Colorado. Whatever, I don't know. You leave the church, and then like, is it a sin to just not have God in the forefront?
I mean,
not necessarily all the drinking and partying and stuff that you were doing.
I love it.
Let's subtract that from the equation, and let's just say you move to a new city and you just don't pick it back up. Is that a sin?
Yeah, I would say yes, but with the qualification of I think we have, especially here in the Bible Belt and all the Catholicism and fundamentalist Christianity, I would say that we have a very inadequate understanding of what sin is.
Inadequate is not good enough, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Making sure I'm staying up to pace.
Yeah. Because I would say the classic like mental image that a lot of people get again here in the Midwest is the guy on the street corner saying with the long list of dirty things you can't do and calling people out for it. And my current understanding of what sin would be anything that takes you away from the relationship with the prime reality. So which in my understanding would be God, but therein lies a way to a flourishing life, very similar to Buddhism in that sense. And so these practices that we do with our life can either take us away from that prime reality or towards it. And so I would say a sin is just anything that would take you away from an abundant, flourishing, happy life rooted in a relationship with God. So, yes, not being a part of a church, not actively pursuing your faith, not praying, all those things would technically be sins, but I would want to separate my definition of that from the way it's classically understood.
Yeah, because that's a tricky question. Because like churches,
it is kind of a wordy.
Well,
and
it brings a lot of baggage.
Because like church has only been around for 1,400 years. You know what I mean? So it's like, what about those other?
You know what? I was proud of that. I thought that was a good question, Tom.
Is.
You know what?
I loved it.
All right, no, it was good.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, dude. Here I am, just like hitting dingers, and you guys were like, "Well, it's a wordy question."
I was gonna say though,
don't know.
2 years is enough time to wrestle with it and to like come to grips with it. And so like I feel like when you like finally have that reversion, you're called back in, there's like the highs like of somebody that's refound their religion. They're on like
Yeah,
a high
for sure.
And then like, do you remember what that first like down swoop was like? Was it like that first basically come back to Jesus meeting?
Down swoop, very technical term.
Yeah, down swoop.
Yeah, down swoop. Do
Yeah.
you recall that first down swoop?
I don't know that I've really ever had a down swoop.
Really?
You're just riding that white
Just
towel.
riding
on
the
fire.
wave,
Nice,
baby.
dude.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's awesome, man.
So like in that 2 years, you get your first degree.
No, so I did end up going to IU before I went out to Colorado.
Okay,
And so I
nice.
graduated from Bloomington, Indiana University, just with an education degree.
Okay.
Because I didn't know what the heck I wanted to do, so I thought I could coach football.
Something's better
I
than
could
nothing.
teach and
Yeah,
coach
yeah, yeah.
football. That's like what
That's
I had
sick,
in my
dude.
mind.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's Brian's dream.
Just a
Really?
whistle and a clipboard.
That's right.
I would have to have so many clipboards because I'd be snapping them. Beat that, bro. Beat that, bro. God, what are you doing, dude? You have to get a new tackle. No, I would thoroughly enjoy that. That's actually a solid move. Yeah. I went kinesiology, like physical therapy route. That's where I wanted to go, and I was like,
So like what trainers do?
yeah, I wanted to work with athletes in that sense, so that way I wouldn't have to break any clipboards.
You still
But
might, just for fun.
No, that's sick though. So you graduated from IU, and then you wound up in Colorado.
Yeah, and then we get married. We have that reversion, and then
Nice.
so that's when we went to seminary because I didn't know what to do. Like I was like, oh, I believe this stuff now. Like
After your 2-year journey,
yeah, like what? Oh, so I did what we do in America is like, oh, what do you do when you want to go learn something more? You go back to school. Like
Yeah.
it was just like that was truly my only thought.
How old are you at this point?
I was 26.
Oh, you're a young gentleman.
Yeah. So I landed seminary. You asked what was seminary like. So I landed seminary really with no expectations, no real understanding of what the heck I just there to learn more about
You
God.
you don't even know anything about marbles at this
Yeah,
point.
know nothing about marbles.
Yeah.
Certainly not in my mouth. So it was a little bit of a shock to my system, which on hindsight, I'm like, duh. But almost everyone there are the vocational pastors. And I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense. But I did not go there to do that. Like I wasn't pursuing a job in a church or anything like that. I was just there to learn more about God, truly. Like that's the whole motivation.
Did people look at you like a crazy person when you would tell them that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Or did they give you like
They-
3 different commentaries on each book? And that's like, hey, we're going over Genesis this week.
Yeah.
And
Well, and I had a steep learning curve because I didn't go to. I went that 1 year to Lincoln, but I didn't finish there, and so all these people had already had Greek, Hebrew, theology classes.
Dude. Yeah, they know they know everything. Dude.
Yeah, but the cool part was it was the first time like my mind really opened up. Like 'cause it was the first time I really wanted to learn something. So like proactively by choice.
That's a huge
difference.
So my 4 years, I graduated from U of E. My 4 years there was, it's different when you go to school and you're in a class that you're like all in.
Yeah,
You're like,
completely different.
this is my
Got
steak
the
and
pen
potato.
out. You're ready to.
I got
take
4
notes.
different highlighters. I got the sticky notes, dude. I'm recording the professor's freaking dialogue. Like
Actually
you're just,
read all the books.
Yeah, you're in it to win it. Yeah. So that's a unique thing to bring up because a lot of kids just go to school and they like half-ass it and
because that's what we think we're supposed to do or have to do. Is
get
we're
the paper
cog in the machine.
Yeah,
just
get the
putting
paper
things-
and get done and get a B and you'll be straight. You'll be good to go.
a B. D's get degrees.
There you go.
B's get you jobs. For the kids at home, anybody in college,
Get a B.
Yeah, a B is A-OK. That should be your goal. No, but so you found yourself driven to this like almost immediately. Like every different course you were in, they put you through
Every class.
Really?
So hungry for it. Yeah.
That is insane.
But what does
to
it
me.
look like? Like, is it literally just like chapter by chapter breakdown of like?
Did you live there?
Like, all the books?
Walk me
or-
through the actual.
Yeah, we lived there. We moved there as a family. So got 3 kids. My wife was pregnant with our second child when we moved there.
Nice.
And so we were, and then I have a stepdaughter. So the 5 of us moved up there. We lived on campus for or almost 4 full years, and just kind of like rooted in that community. And like on hindsight, you know, you can see the design of life. But like I needed that because I had just come out of like 10 years of party scene
Wildness.
So, yeah,
you're like a feral animal.
Yeah.
Like a caged
had
raccoon.
to relearn how to like socialize without alcohol, like all the things, you know, like, and so I needed that time kind of like set apart. So it was really healthy for us and our family. But yeah, I mean, it was, it's just like any other university or college experience in the sense of like you just have a course. So it's not like we're going book by book through the Bible. Like we'll have like Greek, Hebrew, Old Testament theology. I did take a few classes that were like, I really wanted to go after the things I had a lot of questions about. So I did take like a class on Revelation.
Oh,
like,
dude, Revelations is my...
It's your jam?
That is my favorite.
It's so good.
It's so delicious.
It's a nightmare.
Oh my God, dude.
It's a fever dream.
Dude, no, it is, dude. It's like
those
one
mushrooms.
of the, you wake up and you're like sweating through your shorts and your shirt. You're, like that's my. Oh yeah, I'm into that. I joke all the time. Like I kind of want to be around when it happens.
Dude,
I mean, I think that'd be sick, dude.
I was like mad the other day, and I was like, I wish Revelations would just happen so I could know that it's right. You know what I like? I wish that like people would just disappear, and I'd be like, that's the way. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
maybe lower your arm. Jesus Christ! Oh my God.
We can't do that move anymore.
Elon Musk over here. He's like, that's the way. I like it. Did you hear about the whole Elon?
Oh yeah, I saw.
Jeez Louise.
I was like defending him when he has, and then I was like, no,
so
that's,
funny. That's bad.
Pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. That's bad PR. There is bad press. That's bad press. Anyway, so you're diving into like these. So you would like. You chose a couple
What
classes.
was it like having to learn 2 new languages?
Well, so
Because they're different.
yeah,
And it was
completely
Hebrew
different.
and what?
Greek,
And
yeah,
Greek?
the biblical languages that's used. Yeah.
Yeesh.
So I mean,
That's
I didn't
stressful.
actually have to learn the languages. All you have to do is learn how to use the languages. So
Like looking up the
yeah,
actual
exactly.
translation of the
Yeah,
word. And,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like I could go to Greece today and like, but yeah, it was. I loved the language courses. In fact, I almost went into vocationally into something called Pioneer Bible Translators, which goes to like other countries like India and goes into these dialects and and does biblical translation for these communities.
Do those folks get a bad rap? I think they do, don't they? Isn't there like a bunch of beef on like biblical or just religious translation?
with missionaries,
like
yeah.
religious translate, not even just with Christianity, but like both with like Judaism and like with the Quran. Aren't there like there's like a bunch of beef with how they get translated from the original text, right?
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're not mistaken because like it.
Okay.
Like I
just want to make sure I'm not.
If you
stepping
think
on
about
toe.
the different translations of the Bible, like there's websites you can go to and it'll show you like what the NIV says, the New King James, the New American Standard.
Yeah, and they can all have wildly different like directions.
Yeah.
Like one sentence could mean 3 different things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, prepositions are wild. So like there's a word in Greek that it can mean like in, on, among, next to. And so when you think about utilizing that in a sentence, it can drastically change the meaning.
Yeah, Jesus is on me. No, Jesus is
Exactly.
Jesus is in you. No,
or he's among us. Yeah.
Okay, well maybe he is. Okay, he's around us, but he's also in you. You're not on Jesus though. That sounds violent.
But but then like
you're like
Yeah.
No one's on top of Jesus.
well, but then
dude.
there's also like terms of like that day that people wouldn't use today, and so
Right.
it's like translating this phrase into like something.
Yeah, I just thought that was a fun mention because like maybe we likely have a lot of listeners that are not religious, so I think that's interesting fact that I learned a few years ago, and I don't know if like people that aren't religious don't know that. Yeah, it's pretty wild, dude.
Well, because like there's no such thing as Iscariot, like in translation.
What's Iscariot?
What they said Judas was
Judas, yeah.
Iscariot.
What does that
So
mean?
there's like people don't know what Iscariot is.
Yeah, they don't know what it is.
Backstabber.
That is there is like a
That's
theory
what we
that he
say
wasn't.
now.
There was a theory that like Scariots were taken from a word that was like Greek for like assassin or something.
What was it? A bag of silver too? Not SOB. A bag of silver and like some property or something.
You ever heard of the Gospel of Judas? It's one of those non-canonical.
Oh yeah, he got his own
years
book.
later.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
non-canonized.
Yeah.
Which is always glad you bring that up. I'm fascinated by the non-canonized books. Why? Why do they exist? Why were they not chosen to be in the Bible? What's this? Do you know much about? I assume.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah.
Why are there's like a dozen different
The
non-canonized.
Gospel of Thomas.
Yeah. And then,
The quickest and easiest answer is complex stuff. We could spend the next hour talking just on this one topic, so we won't bore all the listeners with that. But the easiest way is just what they call apostolic authority. So the 12 apostles, 13 if you count Paul, they are those who wrote those books. They're the ones that are immediately canonized. Like they're the ones that are recognized by the faith community. These are the ones that are in because they walked and talked and saw Jesus with their own eyes.
Yeah.
So that would be the number one reason. So like the Gospel of Judas, that wasn't written till in the 200s, and so that would have
Just been
the author would never have been even included, even thought to be included, because there was never any question that it was written so much later than the possibility.
And that one's far out. That one's a bit out there, but like the Gospel, but the Gospel of Thomas is like pretty cool because it's just sayings of Jesus. There's no like there is some parable, but there's like it's like Jesus said this, and then later on Jesus said this. It's just like a quote book.
Yeah.
No, the Gospel of Judas is wild, but we don't have to go into that. That's not what we're talking about.
No.
We can do that on a topic based.
No,
episode.
I only like 3 or 4 years ago found out about the non-canonized books.
Yeah,
like I had no idea.
They're super interesting. You can learn about the Christian faith,
but the validity of it is arguable.
But then like the Catholics have how many extra books? It's like 3 extra books in the Catholic Bible that aren't in the others.
Oh, no kidding.
Because those are the ones that were written in between the Old Testament and the New Testament.
It's like Enoch,
the Maccabees.
Oh yeah, I know Enoch. Yeah. I've heard the term Enoch before. Yeah. For sure, dude.
Wild stuff. So when did you write your first book? Like, was that during your that?
No, yeah. So I wrote the first book from couch to community with a buddy of mine when I was 32, so that's 12 years ago, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, so I guess
there it is.
Did you have your doctorate before this?
No.
Okay.
I have a master's degree. So I had a Master of Divinity, completely useless degree. Now I have a doctorate of ministry. These are the two. Don't call me if someone's sick, like you said.
Still call a doctor if someone has a heart attack.
They said ChatGPT knows more about your body than I do.
Still call a doctor.
So by this point, I had I did join a staff of a local church here called One Life in Evansville.
I know One Life.
Yeah, and so I was hired to be the groups director.
Okay.
So small groups, like meeting people's living rooms and stuff during the week. I was the director of that, overseeing that ministry. And, guess what? Where your leaders are of these small groups on a Tuesday afternoon at 3 p.m. They're at work, right? So I was just trying to think of ways to help form and shape and develop my leaders. And so I would just write a lot of content. I would just develop a lot of content. And over the course of my first couple of years on staff, I think I wrote over like 300 blogs, just had all this content. And we did a keynote speak at our annual leadership conference. We had like 120 leaders there. And I cast this vision for what if our Christian communities were not just holding tanks for Christians, but they actually went out into the world and transformed it, right?
Not
what we're supposed
to
do.
Local.
Yeah, locally.
Yeah, dude.
Like we should be transforming the world. And I think that that's something that people that even are not of faith would value if they saw Christians actually bringing good transformative works to our city, right?
Just out there making a difference.
Yeah, making a big difference. And so it kind of cast these like 3 shifts that we believed our group's ministry needed to make. And so my buddy, Zach Bilo, their co-author,
love that last name.
He comes up to me afterwards and was like, well, was that all your own original content? And I was like, well, I mean, what's original content, right? We borrow from everyone in all things. But yeah, like I put it all together. He's like, we need to put that into a book. So we did. We just put all that content into a book. I sent it to like 20 publishing companies, not knowing at the time that you need to have a literary agent and cold reads are almost impossible.
Oh,
and
yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's a mess.
I didn't know anything about that. Well, one of the publishing companies actually picked it up, Group Publishing, and
Shout out to Group.
it's just no-name authors with no platform, no prior experience, and they just read the manuscript and believed in it and published it, and so that really started kind of the writing journey.
So after that, like
brother.
first book,
Heck
you're instantly motivated. Like you get the acceptance letter of that, and you're like, I got to start on my next.
Yeah, well, so ironically, by the time this was actually published in 2014, and the dust had kind of settled on it in 2015, the thing that we did in 2013 that became the catalyst, that whole initiative had failed.
Oh, damn.
Like went down into glorious flames. It was just so. What the second book was, Mover and Maker, was like a response to why I believed that failed. And so I was just kind of writing out and processing my thoughts, and that became the second book. And so each one of these books just really happened. But I will say, I've shared with this before. I can't remember, Thomas, if you heard this, but I read Stephen King's book on writing, and he had a line in that book that unlocked writing for me as far as writing books and publishing books. He said, everyone says they want to be an author, they want to write these books. It's still the number one aspirational goal for Americans, still, every year.
That's
to
wild.
write and publish a book, yeah. Well, but only 99% of people don't do it. Only 1% of people actually do it. So, but Stephen King, in his book on writing, he said, anyone can write 1 page a day. Anyone, whether they work full time or not, one page a day. And if you write 1 page a day, you can publish a 365-page book every year for the rest of your life. And he said, even if half of what you write is crap, you can still publish a book every other year for the rest of your life. And I was like, oh. So I just started as a discipline, a rhythm of discipline in my life, writing 1 page a day.
At least a page a day.
Yeah.
You still do
Nice,
that?
dude.
Yeah. I take 2 days off, so I have a goal every week to get 5 pages down, and I still do it. Yeah.
That is intense, brother.
Knocked out a page yesterday.
That is intense. Like camping. That's wild, dude. Now, this Below fellow, did he work with you on the second book?
No, I asked him to. He helped contribute some thoughts to it, but then he bailed. He's actually the first person I met in Evansville, Zach Below.
Oh, dude, shout out to Zach Below.
We went to Don Mattingly's restaurant. You remember that?
No, we were just talking to somebody about that.
Casey's Dugout. Yeah.
Casey's Dugout. The owner, Casey Keown, I think. I'm so bad. It's the Keonwn name. I don't know how to say it. But anyways, he's a nice fella. But yeah, I don't know the restaurant you're talking about, but we were speaking about that just recently. It's so funny you bring that up.
Yeah.
So did you ever do co-authoring throughout your adventures? Like, you've done multiple books, but was that first one the only one you did co-authoring on?
No. So Evansville was 3 of us. That was a project that the Evansville Christian Life Center did. So I was
very
just
nice.
asked to contribute, and so you can see the other co-authors there. That was my favorite writing project because this was the brainchild of Jeremy Seacrest, and he just let me write. He was like, just send me a bunch of content and I'll curate it into a book. And I was like, that is glorious. That is, you can imagine just like freewheeling like this podcast. Just do it.
Yeah.
But then someone will manicure it into this beautifully put together
take
thing.
excerpts and put them all together.
Yeah.
We're actually hiring one of those if you know anybody.
So that was fun. And then
That's sick,
Minding the Gap, I did a fun project on this one, at which our friend Dr. Burnett, who you have...
Dude,
Yeah.
Dude,
we
yeah.
mentioned a couple times. So I wrote... That book is only about 90 pages, and then I asked like 5 or 6 people to write responses to it. And so that's
Was this based on your dissertation?
No. This was a conversation that came in my head during my D-Min program. Yeah, like I really.
Isn't it crazy that a D-Min program for Doctor of Ministries?
I'm sorry?
You just passed over that.
Oh, your stupid play on words.
No, that's how we call it.
Demon, yeah, demon.
Oh, demon.
Demon, yeah, doctorate of ministry, yeah, but it's a demon.
Oh my! So it is a play on words.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
But I'm just saying how they abbreviate it. It's funny.
I can't go it. We meet once a week, every week at minimum to do this podcast. He pulls out 3 play on words every single time. I'm like, dude, this is too much. I'm losing sanity. Like I can't. I don't feel safe saying anything around him. Golly,
It's a fun dynamic for the
So
listener.
So you come up with this idea, and it's just a theology of measurement.
Yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit? I want to spend a little time on this one. This sounds
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
So what do you mean? So it's a conversation you had in your head, and so this book was essentially your brainchild.
Yeah, well, it was. I was processing a theological presentation that one of my professors in my doctorate of ministry program, my demon program.
You guys are pumped on this, dude. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
All right, we'll quit.
Well, I think my house is haunted, so let's just keep the demon stuff to
we
a
are
minimum.
Upstairs.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah, so he presented this idea that we're going to have to get a little bit into...
No, you're okay. I'm here for you, brother.
Ancient Near East cosmology, but...
Near East?
Yeah,
Okay.
where the Bible's written,
Gotcha.
Israel, Palestine.
Yeah.
So, when the Bible was written, when Christianity, Jesus, all that landed in first century, it wasn't first century then, was it?
No. It was 0 century.
It was just whatever
It was just like, we don't even know what time it is, bro. Like, we ain't even got sundials out here.
Yeah. So the thought world that just everyone had in there was a contained system of oneness. Like that was just how people thought. Like that, all of this is one, and that's just the same thing about science, like materialistic science, like science today is like atoms,
Everything's
neutrons.
tied. Yeah.
It's all just connected into this into these elements. And anyways, they didn't understand that then. They just didn't have the scientific development. But they had the same thing. If you think about like a witch doctor. How do you produce outcomes in the world? Well, I need a little bit of hair. I need some blood from this animal.
We got a voodoo doll over here.
Right, and then I got to pay this hobo to go actually do the work of murdering this guy.
That's so bad. Hobo is not a good term. You could just say homeless gentleman.
To go
Experiencing homelessness.
You can't say either, dude. It's traveler. They're travelers now. You can't say...
Travelers of the evening.
Oh my gosh, I'm working with his political correctness, and it's not going well.
It's not. Have you seen Movement?
We're measuring the gap on that.
Yeah, minding the gap. So the idea is like you can manipulate the oneness if you just know enough about it, and if you didn't, like if the witch doctor's spell didn't work, it's just because I got to learn more. I got to go back. I got to add a toenail.
Got to do some alchemy. Yeah.
And it's the same in scientific laboratories now, right? Yeah. Right? Like the only reason we can't solve every problem in the world based on a worldview of materialism is that because we simply don't have enough time and knowledge. Right? If you give us enough time and knowledge, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, Christianity would reject that premise in the sense of like there is a transcendent reality. There is something, we call it God or a prime reality or whatever, that exists on a different reality.
Different plane.
In a different plane than what we do. And so when he breaks through into reality in the form of Jesus Christ, then we get like a disruption of the natural order. And so that's why, like classic Orthodox Christian faith would say, you can't save yourself, right? Like you have to believe in Jesus, and then through grace you're accepted, and you can't work towards your own. Like that's part of what is so damaging about Catholicism is that you have to do everything right, in order, or then confess, or we have to do all these rituals, and so. Minding the gap was just trying to take that thought of like, if the center of the Christian faith is that we can't control the outcomes that we want to see in the world, like we can't produce them, only at least the ultimate outcomes we'd like to see, then we have to be mindful that there's a gap between what we do and the outcomes we desire to see, that we can't manipulate God to produce the outcomes, or else we then become
Clever.
God.
Yeah. I see where you're
we
at here.
put ourselves in this.
And this is the root of the conversation you're having in your head.
Yeah. So I basically just lay out the it's not even an argument, just like a presentation. I'm not even saying like I agree with this or believe in it. I just like it's rocking my thought world. I'm having a lot of life just thinking about
Here
it. Here it is. Now you 5 guys just respond to it. And so Perry contributed to that and some others there. And so that was like one of my favorite writing projects because I genuinely want it to be a conversation. I want to have more conversations about it from people that have read it and at least understand the principles.
That's so exciting, dude. And then also shout out to you because there's 4 other people on that book. So those are the 4
the responses.
3 gentlemen and a lady that responded. Or no, it was 4 gentlemen.
I did
and a lady.
ask a couple ladies that I asked 10 people, but only 5 actually responded. So
it's just
it's
nice.
All be old white guys.
It's nice that you said by Austin and friends (parentheses and friends). And I think it's nice that you have 5 friends. I have like 2, and I'm related to one of them. You know what I mean? So they're hard to find. So good for you, brother.
Flattering,
yeah, good for you, dude. You're crushing it.
I'm gonna take a bathroom break.
Batting 1,000. Yeah. We double tap all the and we're back. Okay, what were we talking about, dude? I don't remember. Let me get my
minding the gap.
Minding the gap.
I think we closed that one down.
get my dominance.
Yeah, if you
back
guys
on,
want
dude.
to
Well, I was gonna
to read it and contribute your own part to it, then I will. When I republish it at the 10th anniversary, I'll include you.
Oh no way! So
do
you're
you
gonna
have a 10th anniversary re-release?
Maybe.
That'd be sick, dude.
I didn't publish it till 2020, so it's got a ways to go yet. But
Yeah, like 4 years and change, dude. That's okay. Do you think? So you haven't re-released anything, have you?
No, I did self-publish Neighborhoods in Jesus, which is the last book we haven't talked about, and then it got picked up by an actual publisher, and so it's technically a revised edition.
Okay, very sick, dude.
Yeah.
Very sick. And that was picked up by who?
Hunter Movements Publishing. Yep.
Oh, very nice, dude. Very nice.
Which this one's pretty cool because you're basically talking about like what you had started, like basically what you moved to Evansville for. So it's like 360, like, hey, this first theory failed, but here's the newest theory.
Yeah. So this is just highlighting and really focusing on my dissertation research and my life experience in doing neighborhood work.
Very sick, dude. I do want to get into the meat and potatoes. And by the meat and potatoes, I mean, like, we touched on it a little bit, but, like, you know, getting your, what you explained it a little bit earlier when you first introed yourself into the podcast. If I don't know why, in my head, militia rings a bell is what it sounded like. You were like getting people together out in the streets. I know it's not a militia, but you were like getting your friends together, like these Christian folks, and like going out and changing things in communities that need it, right? And needy communities isn't the right term. What's the term I'm looking?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like we talked about in the beginning, like communities kind of eroded away from society.
Yeah, that's what I want to get into.
Like that's what people are hungry for, is like getting plugged into these communities. And I forget who it was, but there's like a study that's talking about like churches are the best place to actually have like a community, and to like replace that with something else, one that like won't hit the same.
Yeah.
Like you can be in a book club, which is a community, but you're not getting the same out of that book club that you would from just attending a church.
Yeah, it's super interesting because this is not it's just it's social science. But Harvard did a global study on human flourishing, and the outcome we actually got to go to Boston and sit down with one of the main like directors of that research program. It's
Very
so
nice.
cool. We got to get lunch with him, and he was like, yeah, you guys wouldn't be surprised to learn that on a global, across faith, nationalities, ethnicities, populations, whatever, is like the 3 things that most people have in common in flourishing life is a faith community, part of a faith community. That wasn't specific to Christianity,
right?
But a community tied to faith, a happy marriage, and meaningful work. It's like these are the 3 things that produce flourishing lives, and it's like, faith, marriage, and work. It's like
That's how it goes.
global
brother.
study.
I would like to dive into this. Like I don't know how much time we have left on the pod, but I would like to get into this a little bit. So walk me back to the beginning. Like,
Okay.
how did it start? How did this, like, going into the community and having like a tangible, like, direct, like, hands-on, attack, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know why everything is so violent in my brain.
You're a military guy.
Militia, attack, kill everything. I don't know.
You're
You
just
get it.
bringing your best self.
Yeah, dude. I feel like this is a job interview for me, and I'm like, but yeah, dude. So, like, walk me through, like, how did this become a thing? Like, how did it begin?
Yeah. I have, as long as I can remember, I've always been fascinated by movements. Like things that actually change stuff.
Okay.
For the better, obviously.
Right.
But even negative movements, like the famous one, like Nazi Germany, like that's a fascinating.
Shout out to Bosnia. Nobody talks about Bosnia anymore, dude. Bill Clinton really doing the most out there, dude. My boy Billy really setting. You know what I'm talking. You got 10 years on me, so you know a little about Bosnia.
Absolutely, I remember that in the news
That's
cycle.
a very unique.
Yeah, that's a way to bring it out of.
So it is
obscurity.
interesting. It's interesting how
Yeah.
like the ebbs and flows of like movement and like just this is the normal now.
How to rally people.
Yeah, now we salute this way. It's
Yeah.
like this is so weird. So you're fascinated by that.
I've always been fascinated by movements and how they start. Or, like even as a kid, like like the hippie movement, all that stuff, like was always just so interesting to me.
Okay.
But I've always been a very peaceful person. Like I've never owned a gun. No commentary on other people to do. I just personally the idea of killing someone. Like most revolutions that have happened in history, unfortunately, come with a lot of death and with a lot of atrocities. Or even the more peaceful ones, sometimes they end cult of personalities and movements. Like they end kind of nasty.
Yeah,
right?
where like a monk sets himself on fire.
Yeah.
Jonestown.
Jonestown.
That one, not
David
great.
Koresh. Yeah.
Koresh.
A lot of so these like the thought of like, okay, how might we as a society have a genuine peaceful revolution? Like how could you see revolution and transformation but in a way that's peace, like instead of violence, or positive instead of negative, or good building up instead of destruction?
Have you ever seen the picture of the little girl in like her Sunday dress and she's got a daisy and she's
and
like
the gun.
putting it was like a Vietnam era.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a photograph or a painting, but she's like putting the daisy
I think it's a photo.
in the rifle
Yeah,
of
I've seen that.
a
Such a powerful image. Yeah.
that is how you have to be willing to unarmed and bear all. I'm thinking of like a child. That's a
It wasn't
grown
a
ass.
child that did it.
That's a
Yeah, that's not the one. I know the one you're talking about.
that dude could vote. This girl I'm talking about's watching like Sesame Street. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a painting, but here nor there.
It might be a
The point is basically you have to be willing to. Baskin has a lot of great pieces on exactly what we're talking about too. That street artist. I think it's Baskin. But anyways, you have to be willing to stare death in the violence, the aggressor. You have to be willing to stand in front of that and say that this is wrong.
Well, and
You have to be willing to do that.
Your life might end.
Termination's
because of
a
that.
real option.
Yeah, real option.
Well, didn't you do a study talking about like the percentage of people in the church that felt like a call versus like not a call, like it was a part of their religious beliefs to actually do like work in the community, and then like it wasn't necessarily a calling for some people?
Yeah, that's one of the that's part of my dissertation research, was finding out what motivated people of the Christian faith anyways to actively engage in neighborhood transformation.
What did you find in that?
Well, golly, it was so fascinating. But so I found, it was the design of the project to kind of glean these things out. But we discovered 5 biblical concepts, and the one that all of my interviewee participants, they all said calling. That's the one Thomas is referencing. So this sense of call, like that there's a higher purpose that now my life needs to engage in.
Yeah.
All of them had that sense. Okay. So, but then I also found 3 catalytic, like things that actually initially catalyzed engagement, and then 3 things that sustained them. And so it's just a wealth of information, or wealth of research. None of it would really be surprising. Like if you looked at it, you'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But then just to be able to like affirm, like, no, this is actual real social science data.
Yeah, you're
Like
putting it on paper. That's no,
it's not an opinion. It's not a thought. Like this
Yeah.
is actual
There's
sociological
50
research.
human beings that I talk to.
Yeah,
But you kind of pulled all that information into this.
Yeah, yep. It's all in there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I do want to go back to just okay. So the meat and potatoes, how this thing starts, and we were talking about like how do you have like a peaceful,
Peaceful revolution.
like a peaceful revolution.
Yeah.
And I was kind of, I think, do you agree that you kind of have to look the aggressor, or do you have a different thought?
No. I agree, and I think that's one of the many problems of the current state of Christendom right now.
Christendom, not following.
Yeah, sorry. Just,
Like
like,
Christ's kingdom.
I'm speaking to a slow person.
Yeah.
It's the kingdom of Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So,
is that we've gotten soft, and especially American. Like that's why you look at the global population explosion of Christians is happening in South America, Asia, and it's because they're doing that. They're facing down death, and they're answering with love. They're answering with community. They're answering with transformation, just like the early church did. The first 300 years, Christians weren't in power. They were the powerless. They were the marginalized. They were the ones being persecuted and killed in coliseums.
Yeah, Romans were just out here schwacking them by the dozen, dude.
And think about this. Okay, this is one of the most fascinating.
Not funny.
Well,
it's comical
history.
Yeah,
it's history. But this is one of the most fascinating thoughts in my mind. That I think again doesn't matter if you're of the faith. Just
absolutely.
to observe it. It's so fascinating to think that within about 250 years, 300 years, a movement that started with 120 people standing looking up into the sky, the story of the ascension of Jesus after post-resurrection, goes from 120 people on a mountain in this nondescript backwater, no power, no whatever, to within 250, 300 years becomes the dominant faith and topples a whole ancient worldview of Roman power culture without firing a shot.
Yeah.
Not one shot. They did not abuse, violence, kill, come to power through
They were persecuted those
They
early
were
years.
persecuted. They faced down death, just like you said. And I think that is like, I don't know. I think that is one of the most interesting things that we need to account for. I think more people need to process that. Like, it's possible. We can overcome greed and destruction and pollution and all these things with love. Like, we can truly transform worlds in our own internal world and external world by acts of love.
It just you just have to come at it with, I think what is important is like your drive, like where your heart's at, what's your main objective, and that is like a peaceful revolution. Then you go to the antagonist and you're like, hey man,
I feel like positivity spreads just as well as negativity, and like that aspect of like somebody cuts you off in traffic, you can choose to be mad and that affects your driving, or like the same as if you like wave or open the door for somebody that like changes their direction maybe in a positive direction.
We're not willing to face down death anymore.
Yeah,
we're too comfortable.
We're not willing to flip over tax tables in the temple anymore.
Hang on a cross.
I'll tell you what, I'm here for the violence. So if you guys are recruiting, come on with it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, dude, honestly, yeah, there are a lot of people that are like afraid of violence. They're just like, he's got a gun and let's go away. Like, let's just do whatever he says. Oh, they're the majority shareholder. Let's just do whatever they say. That's a bummer. You know what I mean? That sucks, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I would like to
sucks.
think that I would stand in that moment differently, but
Yeah, you don't know until you get there,
you
man.
don't.
It's a different
But
ball game.
it's different. So, like, partnering with communities for inside out transformation? Like, are you teaching people, like, hey, this is how you get, like, a group of people that have a same like-minded goal, and, like, this is how you build that? Or...
Some of that's in there for sure, but this is specifically in the context of what we would call, like, marginalized neighbors, people that have experienced marginalization, like the classic bad neighborhood, the neighborhood. I I told you guys I grew up in rural Illinois, even in a farm town of 2,000 people. My mom said, you can ride anywhere you want your bike in the summer except for there, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the bad neighborhood, usually characterized by dilapidated abandoned housing,
or just a bad house on the
populations.
block that has overgrown grass. Like, you could maintain.
Yeah, now
their...
imagine a whole neighborhood of that,
Right.
or 50% of the neighborhoods.
I grew up in a trailer park, brother.
Oh, there you go.
I'm in one of those neighborhoods.
You were that
Yeah.
neighborhood. Yeah.
A couple trailers blew up in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not a lot of friends wanting to stay the night and have slumber parties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it
I
was
get
my experience through doing all this community work for a very long time that a lot of people meaning well, like genuine motivations of goodness, but the way that they projected that change onto these communities, that they come as the experts, they have the answers, they want to provide the interventions, and then they project that onto these neighbors and these communities that those neighbors didn't necessarily ask for.
Right. They're like, thanks for the food, but we don't have electricity to keep this food cold.
Yeah. And so the idea behind this is with flipping that, like the neighbors that live in the neighborhood are valuable, of infinite worth and inherent dignity.
Like a CI, dude.
Yeah.
You guys got like CIs.
Oh, yeah.
Confidential informants.
Confidential informants.
Yeah,
they're
dude.
on the ground.
Yeah,
they
boots
know
on the ground,
they're
dude.
experts. Like,
they call
know
you
more
from
than
like
we
a
ever would.
star 69 number from like a payphone or something. Yeah, they don't tell any first names. So you got something like that, boots on the ground.
Yeah, that's right. No,
So-
we go
so-
door to door.
And you're relying on these individuals for like
we
input.
listen to them. Yeah.
What's your biggest problem? What's your second biggest problem?
Yeah, what's your biggest strengths? Like, what are the good things that are going on? Because we want to find positive deviants.
Let's polish
and build
those.
on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's partnering. That's what that is like inside. So instead of projecting change onto communities, you build genuine relationships with neighbors, and then you let them change their own community from the inside out.
You just
so that
give
way
them
you're not,
resources?
well, no, I would say
It's like matchmaking. Like, this dude's plumbing's leaking, but this dude's, a plumber, but like needs carpenter work, and they can help each other.
Is that
that's
kind of what
certainly
you're doing?
part of it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's one of our priority goals in the TP Park neighborhood where I live and work and play. And it's like they want to take care of neighbors' basic needs by themselves. Like, not so. There's this great book called Toxic Charity that explains a lot of this, and he tells a very powerful story. I'll be quick about it.
No, you're good, bro.
But he tells this really powerful story of he used to be like the classic suburban white guy coming in and bringing Christmas presents to needy families in the inner city in Atlanta. And he noticed over and over and over again that if the father was present, he would oftentimes leave the room. And so finally,
that guy that was bringing gifts?
Yeah.
So that guy, say that again? So
if
sorry.
he came to give kids presents or whatever, the dad of those kids would leave the room.
Yeah. And so he had gotten to know one of these fathers, and so he pulled him aside and was like, hey, I've noticed this thing. When the father's present and when we bring these presents, the mom is usually happy and smiling. The kids, of course, are super excited to get it.
Yeah.
But he's like, but the father's just almost always leaving. He's like, yeah, because
Shame.
what you're communicating to my kids is that I can't take care of that.
Shame.
And now you're buying my kids presents for them. And so it's this idea of like toxic charity. We're reproducing narratives, or sometimes literally destroying. This is a real story of one of my friends in my Doctor of Ministry program. He's from Kenya. He's my best friend that I met in that program. His name's Michael. He knows a guy that was one of his friends that he grew up with, whose main T-shirt manufacturing company was put out of business because of all the free T-shirts that America sends over there. So not only are we like that's toxic charity. Like
Right.
by trying to help, genuine like
you could have
we
gave the money to that shirt maker.
Well, right.
And he made
Let
the
him
shirts
do his
there
own
locally.
business so that he actually can produce economic viability for his own community,
And the money
right?
would have stayed in that community.
in that community.
I swear, dude.
So by trying to clothe these kids, which is a good motivation, we're actually destroying their communities. And so this is the idea of toxic charity. And so this is what we've done in a lot of neighborhoods in America, is through the social welfare state, is that we've reproduced these cycles of dependency that lead to the destruction of communities and then trap people in poverty. Because like, whether you want to talk about systemic racism and injustices and all that, the reality is, just as a data set, sociological data set, if you're in poverty, you don't get out.
Right.
Just you don't.
It's tough.
And if you're in middle class, you don't get out. And if you're in upper class, guess what? You stay there. Like, we're all pretty much, I mean, of course, there's exceptions to the rule. The American dream can theoretically happen.
Yeah, dude, our podcast is going to take off, all right?
Someday. One day.
I don't like the way this guy is setting. He's like, listen, this podcast sucks. It's always going to suck. You guys are always going to be very mid.
You're going to find somebody that's going to come in and give you guys a bunch of money. It's going to be toxic charity.
We're going to shut the podcast down. No, but yeah, no, I see your point though. Because you're raised in it, man. All of your credentials are there. All of your tangibles are there. All the, you know what I mean? It's like, that's all you've ever known. That's all that's all you're going to be able to exhaust.
Yeah. And so that book is all about flipping that.
It's wild. You know, fun fact. Just so some people that grow up in poverty, and then they grow up to be like a really great athlete of sorts. You see it in like the NBA and the NFL all the time.
Oh yeah.
They'll make these $1 million contracts, and then they just blow through it. And then when they get out and they're not getting that paycheck, where do they wind up? If you're not a Hall of Famer, it's like bad. It's just, and again, not being a dick. I'm just pointing out the obvious. Yeah. And they like give NFL players and college players like classes on like money management, and they're trying, but these guys aren't getting it. They're just like chains and cars and wheels and houses. It's like God, and they wind up right back where they were. Yeah. It's a valid point though. You know what I mean? Because that's all you've ever known.
One of the beauties is, you know, they like that could be a burden to somebody else. Like God tests people in different ways. You know, like you being poor is one test, but like giving somebody a bunch of money, that's a whole nother test. You know,
what do you do with it? You know what I mean? Yeah. Invest it. You know, give it to people. You know, do something positive with it. I don't know. That's a big. So what? Okay, now I'll tie up my portion on this. I just want to know what's the end goal here? What's the this is a relatively new child. This is a new thing you're birthing.
Yeah.
Where do you want to see this go? What are your aspirations, or maybe just from you personally? Like, what would you like to see this, you know, grow into?
I would like to see a lot of local churches adopt this approach.
It's currently just your congregation that
our church doesn't even do it. It's funny. So I work for a nonprofit, and we practice this.
Have we said the name of the nonprofit?
It's Community One.
Did we say that earlier and I missed it? Okay, I'm so sorry. We skipped right over that, brother.
Fine,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, shout out to Community One
yeah,
team.
dude.
Yeah.
So dope.
I've been working there almost 8 years now, which is wild to think about.
Nice, dude.
Getting old. I became a grandpa this year. So.
Nice, dude. Are you really a grandpa?
For real. Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
That's like a whole lot, like different things just change your whole life perspective.
Oh,
you know, you think
gosh.
having a kid changes your life perspective, and then when your kids have kids, it's
now you got to start watching Wheel of Fortune and like,
oh my gosh,
like Murder She Wrote.
You know, into it. Bathrobe,
lean into
slippers.
it. Yeah, get the slippers for the house, dude.
But okay, so I will. So
yeah,
to answer
aspirations.
This question, I'll say this is the first. This is the first time I've ever actually tried to sell a book.
Okay.
Like all the other books I wrote, I just wrote, right? This one, I'm re-engaging in social media for the first time since 2020.
Yeah, the posts are good.
Unfortunately,
my daughter's doing most of those.
That's great. And unfortunately, that's the best way to get media out in mass.
It's the only way now.
Yeah, it's yeah.
So, what's fascinating about this to me is that the writing industry has been disrupted, of course, as everything has been. So publishing has been disrupted, and now, like, you cannot get a manuscript written unless you have a platform, like even by a literary agent. Like the first question they ask you is, what's your platform? I'm like, well, I got off of social media 4.5 years ago, so not much.
Are you guys doing LinkedIn? Are you guys doing LinkedIn?
And you didn't have your blog anymore?
No. And so, but a friend of mine, a very good friend, she sent me a screenshot from a writer called John Acuff, and he was interacting with someone on his social media platform.
Clever, very good interaction.
And it said, "Hey, John, I want to be a writer, but I don't want to do all the marketing and stuff in order to sell my book."
Correct.
And, and he wrote in the response, he goes, "That's a journal."
I mean, it's not wrong.
And so my friend
that's
sent me that,
awesome.
and I was like, it was like a dagger to my heart because I had said the exact thing before. I'm like, I just want to write. Can't someone sell my books for me?
Pull up Bill's IG. Will you open another tab and pull up Frank Bill's IG, please? I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
Do you know Frank Bill?
I don't.
From Corden, Indiana. He's a bestseller. He's been on the
Nice.
Yeah, dude is
might
a
have
killer.
to-
No, but
I have to talk to him.
this is what he does. Hold on, scroll down to like his past all our stuff. He has been on the podcast. This is what he does though. Like that book right there, that's his Crimes in Southern Indiana.
Okay.
He's co-authored some stuff, but he pumps up other authors. He pushes out other people's shit all the time. Back to the Dirt is his newest book that he came out with a year and a half ago.
He's got a new book coming out.
Yeah, and he's just constantly boosting himself and boosting other authors that he reads and believes in and appreciates. And it's just all like, this is a prime example of like coming from a New York Times bestseller. That's
Yeah.
him, the little guy on the left next to that big guy.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, he's not that little in person though.
That's just a tall
That's just a
dude.
big SOB. But anyways, my point is to your
Yeah.
to you know help
Yeah, good for
drive the
him,
point
man.
home that
Yeah.
you're getting to, you know, that you're trying to make is
Yeah.
that like if you're going to be a writer, dude, you got to do this.
I know.
Because no one is a better advocate for you than you. No one knows your shit better than you know your stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got to go to.
Yeah.
We had the opportunity when our first book was published to go to this Future of the
Thank
Church
you.
Summit.
Sorry.
And I talked to a guy there who he was publishing his second book.
Nice.
His first book had sold 50,000 copies, and his goal for this one was 200,000. Because 50,000 copies to sell is basically made him 1 year's salary. That's all. So
No
that's to
way.
think about how much you have to sell, right? So his goal for this one was 200,000. He felt like that would give him enough in his account to like truly be an author for the rest of his life. I think he actually hit that mark too. But he told me
Good on him.
that he had over 380 appearances in the last calendar year.
That's another thing. Yeah.
Like that's how much he was working it.
You have
and
to.
It was really defeating for me.
What's
to
his name?
hear-
Is this him?
No.
What was his
that
name?
guy's name was Drew Dick.
Drew Dick? Hell yeah.
D-Y-C-K.
Hell yeah. No, I was just, I mean, I'm sorry. No. Like, yeah, Drew Dick? No. No, I just meant like, hell yeah, good for him, bro.
No,
Like, that
absolutely.
dude, it
Yeah.
sounds like so like,
Yeah,
that's,
and so he was all in. Like he was going for it. And
Yeah.
I just have never been able to do that. It's
Frank's
just
talked
not who
about
I
that,
wanted, what I
too.
want to do with my life.
circuiting. Like when you're
Yeah.
putting something out and you have like a strategy pre-release. If you coordinate everything just right and you plan your cities out and you I mean, most of the time these people does he have an agent? I'm assuming that he works.
Yeah.
They're helping
By
coordinate
now,
all
yeah.
this stuff. And
Once you get a book that sells
Yeah.
50, then you get
people are
getting
knocking on your door,
yeah,
you're getting
yeah.
emails like, "Hey,
Yeah.
who's representing you?"
Exactly.
It's like my cousin. You know?
Have you seen this Alex Hormozy? He just wrote a book called The 100 Million Money Models, and it was the fastest selling fiction book,
Wow.
having sold over 2.9 million copies within the first 24 hours.
Oh,
And it
dude.
actually broke like the world record. But he was talking about like all these
Wow.
like top 5
Get rich quick
like,
schemes. Do
well, like all
sell.
these type 5 people that are authors, they were all like politicians. And he's like, I feel like an entrepreneur should be up there.
Yeah.
So like he wrote this book and then
Yeah.
like
I
went
like
on
this
a
guy.
crazy
That's great.
campaign. push
Hermosy's
for it.
dope. He always has a breathing strip on his nose. I think he's got some serious.
It's a medical condition.
Yeah, he's got sinus issues. Dude, he crushes though.
Yeah, he's fire.
Yeah, he wears the dopest hats. But anyways, But yeah, dude, honestly, I commend you. Get in the social medias.
Yeah.
Let your daughter do whatever she wants with it.
She is, man.
If she
She's
needs
great.
If she needs you to like talk for a video, listen to her because she knows what she's doing,
Exactly.
dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
gotta trust her.
You gotta pump this stuff out, dude.
Well, and I feel like Wes Luttrell from Wally Opus, he's been doing some really cool shorts of just like talking points. Like you could even take those posts of like just the quote that she pulls out and just talk.
Yeah, he's a grinder, dude.
Yeah,
Wes grinds, dude. Yeah, that dude crushes.
Along this moment or like journey of neighborhoods and Jesus, was there like a moment where you just wanted to like throw in the towel, like I'm done with this book, or like I'm not going to release it, and like what pulled you through that moment?
Yeah, a couple times. So this is technically my third try at this book alone. So I started writing after my dissertation. I wanted to do like a popular level presentation of my dissertation research.
Okay.
It was so boring. I was like falling asleep writing it. Like if I can't enjoy this, like
who the hell is?
So I shelved it, and then I wrote, and so that was a low point. And then I got this idea of really incorporating more of the stories from the actual neighborhood work we did, and all of a sudden the book came back alive and got the second kind of wind in its sails, and that's when I was able to get the manuscript done. But then I sent it out to like almost 30 different literary agents and publishing companies. Not one of them even read the manuscript.
What?
Yeah,
they didn't even open it.
No, it's what's your platform, and if you don't have a platform, then they're not going to read it. And
do you guys have MySpace? Like, where are you guys at, dude?
So that was a super low point. Now, I had self-published several books before, so I had that experience. So I was like, well, I have this manuscript, so I'm just going to go ahead and self-publish it. And then when it got picked up by Hunter Movements, there was a low point in that where you're like, it's never going to get done, because I had a real editor, which was an awesome experience. Helen, shout out to Helen in the UK. She was freaking amazing, so much fun to work with, and she had that great accent.
All my family's English. I get it. Yeah, they have horrible teeth and awesome accents. Yeah, dude, I love the English.
But that was like a year-long process where then I had to do a crowdfunding campaign, because they're actually a hybrid publishing company, so you have to like raise some upfront costs for the publishing. So it like that was a low point. So just several times through that, and I would say that the thing that grounded me through that whole experience and allowed me to keep taking the next step forward in it was the work itself. Like, this was not just like words on paper for me. It's my life. And I was experiencing in real time the things I was writing about every day, or at least every week in the neighborhood work. And so it was like, I would share a story, and then the next day in real life, another amazing story would come from these principles and practices that we adopted in this work. And I know stories of real neighbors with real names that have transformational experiences through practicing in this work. And neighborhood-based organizations like Renew Church here on the West Side that's doing on the Lamasco initiative, that they were seeing incredible life come from practicing what we were talking about in this book. And so it was just like having those real experiences tied to what I was developing and creating was so meaningful, and allowed me to keep going through several, not just one, like several low points.
Just the results of the work, and like just feeling
it's
alive
real.
from it,
it's
and
real.
Journaling that whole week and realizing like, hey, this is powerful.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Heck yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Seriously, man.
So all your books are available on Amazon.
They are.
Even this one, I didn't see this one on there. Okay. I only saw the 4 on there. Oh, this one is available as well. Yep, Neighborhoods in Jesus. And we'll have we might just link your name page on Amazon.
You can just link the website, and through the website you can scroll down, click on each book, and it takes you.
Yeah, my friend made this for me just to collect all the books into one place. So
very nice, dude. Very nice. Okay, perfect, dude. Yeah, this link will be in the description.
Thank
for
you,
sure.
guys.
We'll get you hooked up, and anybody that's interested in this kind of work, man, seriously, click that link and give it a peek, man. Yeah, seriously. Do you have questions, comments for us for the Days Grimm podcast or anything like that? Anything weird, maybe?
Yeah. No, I'm just curious, like what you like. what are your guys' aspirations for this? And secondly, like, what's the conversation that you haven't had that you want to have?
I'm going to answer both questions with one. My aspirations and what I want to happen would be a direct conversation with Barack Obama.
Oh, nice.
Dude, honest to God.
I thought he was going to say a taxidermist. He's been talking about how he wants to get to taxidermist.
Dude, hey, if anybody knows a taxi, you send them my way because I'm trying to get a taxidermist up in here.
Okay.
Dude. So that's like immediate goals. But future goals, yeah, man, I want to interview Barack Obama.
That'd be fire.
Yeah, it'd be lit.
I don't know, just like more like, I don't know. We've been interviewing just like people, and it's like we're pivoting to do people that we want to talk to, not just like random whatever.
Yeah, like there could be like a quote influencer, Evansvillian influencer, and that's great. But if Tom isn't into whatever it is they're trying to influence, and if I'm not into whatever they're trying to influence, what's going to wind up happening is we're going to have this really great person in that's probably doing really great things, and it's just going to be a flat conversation.
Yeah.
As opposed to today, lively, you're in it, you're squeezing the juice. You can feel the difference. Like when you watch one of our podcasts, not to say all of our guests have been great, but when we're just not like really squeezing it, at least I can tell.
Yeah,
Post-production, I can tell.
Yeah.
You're not. So that's kind of what we're kind of re-angling towards. Like,
But I think podcast is the future of social media in an aspect. So like, Zach and I jokingly call me. I said I'm going to be the pod father of Evansville. So.
Well, I've got a couple ideas I want to pass your way.
Okay, excellent, brother.
You guys might be the ones to do it.
We're very optimistic, and again, we're all about helping folks out, man.
But seriously, I can't wait to dive into Neighborhoods of Jesus. Can't wait to talk to you about it once I finish the book. It would be.
Well, that's
maybe we
that's
have
a
you
gift
back
to
in
you
next.
guys. That's a gift to you.
Maybe
Thank
we
you
both
for-
read it. And
I can't read, so I'll do the audio book. You know what I mean? I'll do the. No, I'm joking. I'll
But
definitely take
Austin,
it.
you
I'm
could have
very
done
excited.
anything on your Sunday night, and you came in and hung out with us and
No, I
talked
just
to us about
appreciate
your
it.
book.
Yeah, man, on the
It's
Lord's
fun.
Day. Seriously,
Yeah,
thank you so much,
yeah.
brother.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you to the listeners and the viewers. If you're on the YouTube, click subscribe. Check us out every Tuesday, 8 a.m. Episodes dropping like fire.
I think this has been another thrilling episode of the Days Grimm podcast. My name is Thomas Grimm,
My name is Brian Day.
and this has been Dr. Austin Maxheimer.
Thank you, Austin.
Bye.